All right, family, welcome back to the Shadow Specialist. I am Tara T. And I took a couple days off, right? I've been going through my own tower moments. I needed a moment to recalibrate my mind, my nervous system, and been doing some purging and releasing, right? But I've been guided to come on here and just have an intimate conversation with you. Spirit has led me to do this video as to why it is so important that I start this channel. Why is it so important that I make you guys aware of the importance of shadow work? Okay. I jumped right into, you know, showing and breaking down where people are operating from, how their shadow shows up. And I want to backtrack in this video so that you clearly understand why shadow work is so important and why the collective is asking for this deeper level of understanding of themselves as well as healing, right? Now, it seems like bringing up the past and, reflecting on the mistakes, the flaws, and all of the things that come along with shadow work is kind of counterproductive to moving forward. But as all of the cliches say, if you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it. There's nothing new under the sun. And this video is to help you understand that therapy is dead. Shadow work is the new and original therapy because, like I just said, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay. Shadow work is necessary for many reasons. I was guided to start this channel so that you understand that the state of the world right now is due to collectively vibrating at such a low frequency. Okay. Everybody is complaining about the person that's in office and all of the changes and upheaval that is coming about due to his presidency, the way he's running the office, the things that he's doing that's affecting people mentally, emotionally, physically, things of that nature, right? But it's also an indication of the old system falling, okay? The patriarchal system is falling, and we're being guided to operate from a heart-centered way of living, okay? Matriarchy is the natural order of things. In a household, who raises the children? Who nurtures the family? Who cooks the meals? Who keeps and tends to the home? The mother. The father is meant to enforce the laws that the mother sets, right? And why am I bringing up a household, okay? Because the way that the world is being ran is out of divine order, is out of alignment. And it's showing up in all facets of life. Okay, there is a rise in homosexuality. I can't even say a rise. I feel like it has reached its pinnacle. Okay, probably like 1 out of every 5 people you meet has a homosexual tendencies or identifies as being a homosexual. And I'm not here to judge, okay? That's not my perspective on the homosexual trend in the world right now. But what it is showing me is that the need for feminine energy is there, so much so that men are operating more in their feminine qualities than their masculine qualities, which is showing how imbalanced the world is. The world is asking for the divine feminine to rise again to her natural state of being, her healed state of being. Now, we have feminine qualities and everyone has feminine qualities, okay? We are in a duality environment. We all have masculine qualities and feminine qualities, but there is a heavy imbalance between the two individually, on an individual personal level, and collectively. And that is being played out with the homosexuality that is being, you know, rampant, that has become rampant. Now, we don't need to get into semantics and the estrogen in the food and the this and this and that, because that's going back to a personal, egotistical viewpoint. When we're looking at things from a spiritual perspective, we're looking at it from how it affects the collective. Okay, how the collective is being affected and is operating. All right. Knowing yourself is about knowing the lower aspects of you, your lower chakras, being able to operate from your heart so that you can receive divine guidance from your higher chakras. And that cannot happen if you're always in survival mode, if you're always working from your root chakra, your sacral chakra, if your solar plexus, your gut is out of balance, right? This is why I am teaching you shadow work and how to do it. Know thyself. Learning about how you're made physically, energetically, which is synonymous with spirit, okay? Energy and spirit is synonymous in my perspective, the way I view the holistic version of a person, okay? And being as though I have been a registered nurse for the past decade, I have witnessed how the energetic, emotional, spiritual imbalances manifest physically as illnesses. There's many books out that have been written about how your body keeps the score, how trauma is stored in the body. But they always say, if you want to hide something from a nigga, do what? Put it in a book. So I'm coming here to give you all of the knowledge that I have gained in this lifetime and that I'm remembering from past lives, so that you can understand how you're made, so that you can not only heal yourself from past trauma, but you're equipped with the skills, the knowledge, and ability of perception to be able to heal yourself from any traumatic situation that will occur in this lifetime, in your lifetime. Okay? Because trauma just doesn't end at childhood. How many times have you been cheated on in the past 10 years? How many times have your finances put you in situations that cause you to compromise your morals, your standards, or any other thing that we see today in the world? Okay. How many times have people with a lot of money done immoral things? We are all familiar with what's going, the files that have been released from the EPI. If you know, you know, I don't want this video to be taken down. Okay. We see the Diddy trial strung along last year and all of the things that came out from people who were making gross amount of money. Okay. So understanding that, one, money is not gonna fix all of your problems. If you have an energetic, mental, emotional imbalance in your spirit, your soul, the higher consciousness, God essence of you, will be stuck in that lower, primitive nature of yours, which we call your lower three chakras. Okay. If you are not equipped, if you were not equipped with emotional intelligence, being raised by parents that were conscious and able to instill good values, and maybe you were adopted, or maybe you were in foster care and you were shuffled here, there, everywhere, and you never really felt safe, and you continuously find yourself in situations that perpetuate the feeling of not being safe. Maybe you find yourself being molested or raped, or things of that nature. Understanding how to break those cycles is something that shadow work will teach you. Teach you how to forgive people who may not ever apologize. Teaching you how to forgive yourself from choices that you've made that put you in situations that were unhealthy to your holistic being. Understanding that The natural order of things is being restored slowly, but it starts individually. If each of us clean outside our own front door, the whole world will be free of litter, right? But that's a hard thing to do when you are not yet equipped with the knowledge as to how to identify your trauma and the personality traits, beliefs, and behaviors related to that trauma. Okay, it keeps women in the perpetual cycle of choosing men that degrade them, devalue them. Okay, and then you're reproducing with these men that's creating broken homes. Okay, and let's just say the home isn't broken by separation, but maybe it's broken by a lack of love or a lack of affection in the home. Maybe the father is disconnected, or maybe the father is abusive, or maybe the mother has some type of I don't know, substance abuse, or tendencies that keep her from operating in her highest feminine aspect. You see the imbalance there? There's a heavy imbalance in the collective, and it needs to be restored. And that only happens through purging, releasing traumatic behaviors, thought patterns, so that you can elevate to your heart. The goal of this channel is to get you to understand how those low vibrational aspects of yourself is keeping you from tapping into your highest potential. It is keeping you from operating in your highest level of abundance. And I don't mean just physically and financially, abundant in love, abundant in confidence. Okay? Everyone here that has a soul mission. And if you're constantly trapped in survival, if you're constantly trapped in being a slave to your sexual desires, or you're constantly being trapped by being enslaved to your desires of greed and different things that we find ourselves being, slaves to, then you will never operate from your highest potential. You will never accomplish your mission in this lifetime. No matter how much money you make, no matter how many homes you have, or how much material things that you acquire, you will not accomplish the mission that your soul set out to accomplish in this incarnation if you are operating below your heart chakra. So it is my sincere desire to get you to understand how your trauma shows up, help you to understand how to release that trauma on your own, because baby, therapy is expensive. All right. And if you come from the melanated community, all right, people like us tend to shy away from therapy. There's a stigmatism about it. And in all honesty, if you're going to need a therapist every time you go through something in life, you're going to be spending a whole hell of a lot of money. All right. But we're returning back to our ancient ways of being, our ancient practices, of which shadow work is one of them. All right. Teaching you how to become your own therapist is the goal of this channel, so that you can heal and reinvent and transmute any low vibrational energy that exists within you or that's sent to you, so that you become the highest version of yourself. Now, if you're ready to take that journey, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Send this video to somebody you love who is trapped in some type of unhealthy cycle that you know they need to get out of. And maybe that's you. And that's okay, because this is a judgment-free zone, baby. I have seen some of the most interesting things in my decade of being a nurse. And since I have been on my own spiritual journey and working with clients myself, I have heard some of the most traumatic stories. And you, yes, you have the ability to release yourself from the shame, from the fear, so that you can rise and become your best version. Because there's something special within you that is asking, begging to come out, that can help the collective to raise in their consciousness. And we need you to stand up and be your highest version, which is why I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, helping you to identify those lower aspects of yourself so that you can rise to your highest potential. Now, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so that you notified every single time I drop a video, because you're not going to want to miss it. Therapy is dead. Shadow work is taking its rightful place in the homes across all of the world. And I don't want you to be behind. All right? Let's get ahead of all of the changes that we're experiencing collectively by making sure we start with our own front door. Endless love, y'all. Peace.